All right. Good evening, everyone. I am sorry for coming late a bit. I'm trying to set up. Makinde Adedoyin, good evening. Prince Dixon, good evening. Ifeanyi is here. Good evening. Miriam is here. Good evening. Bridget is here. And of course, our big fan, Big Eva is here. You're all welcome. Let's quickly get to work. We have a lot to do. But before we start anything today, I want someone to drop the courses that I welcome. My class captain, Grace, is here. Miriam is here. Please, I want someone to drop the list of courses we included in the flyer for this class. So I want to know the first one we're having now. The first one we're having now. Just help me type it. Which one are we having now? Okay, what are we having now? Okay, GS 101, 105, thank God. Thank you for that. So I already know that we have GS 101 first. Now, before we start the GS 101, kindly drop one or two things you've learned from our previous class on GST 101. Which new words have you learned? What uh, new concept have you learned from GST 101 in our previous class? Let me try to open the mock sites, and also we will soon start using the real exam interface. I don't even know if we should use that one tonight. Maybe we should use that one tonight. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yes, one or two things you've learned from GS 101. I believe we've done GS 101 before. We've done a class at least under GS 101. So what did you learn in that class? What did you learn in that class? I am waiting for you guys. You are the one delaying us now. What did you learn in the last class on GS 101? I hope you guys can hear me, please. Oh, I've been talking to myself. Can you hear me? I hope my network is fine now. Can you guys hear me? Which movies? You are welcome. Can you guys hear me? I need to know so that don't just stay here and be talking to myself alone. I hope my network is still okay. Okay, Sadiq said that they can hear me. All right, thank you. I think that means the network is okay. That is fine. And we should proceed then. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with the site, so it's like it doesn't want us to use mock tonight too. Or probably we have to use okay, it's coming up now. So if you guys can hear me clearly, that means by now you should start typing what you learned from the last GS 101 class. That's what I'm expecting now. That's what you learned from the last GS 101 class. You should have started dropping that now. All I'm seeing is good evening, good evening. I can hear you. Akinremi Sironke, you are welcome. Thank you for confirming that. But please, can you guys drop what you've learned in the last class so that we will start tonight's class? It's very important. We're not just here just to be catching fun. What did you learn in the last class in GS 101? I think we're just doing random reading. We've touched listening to some extent in that last class. We have touched listening to some extent. I want to make sure okay, let me. So I'm waiting for you guys. You are the one delaying us. What and what did you learn? Or is this the first time we are doing just 101? I don't believe that if you guys say so. Is this the first time we're having just 101 since we started marathon classes? Thompson, thank you. Reading and comprehension. Okay, listener. Thank God you guys are still in this class. This is exactly what I was waiting for. According to Infayi, if you can recall the last class, I was saying who is a listener. We're able to define it. Everybody were able to say one or two things. So Ifeanyi is saying a listener is anybody who is capable of listening to anything said and possibly participate in what he listened to demands to be done. In fact, Ifeanyi deserves our first recharge card tonight. So Ifeanyi, after this class, you message me in my DM on WhatsApp. Drop your phone number for the card. That is a wonderful one. It means you still remember why Grace, my class captain, is saying we are the listeners because listening is a day-to-day activity. She tried to give us the reason why must we listen. There was one title there that says why must we listen. So Grace lesson from the last class is or was that she is now able to answer why we listen and who is a listener. That her response answered two questions. Who is a listener and why must we listen? I am that listener, you are that listener. And why must we listen? We must listen because listening is a day-to-day activity. Thank God. It means you are on fire. You are still so cool about it. According to Ifeanyi, okay, Ifeanyi, you are just giving us more, so that is fine. Victoria Nelson, listening is our day-to-day activities. Well, you are on point too, so that is good. At least I know that you guys, you know, your mind is in what we are doing. We are not just here wasting our time and our data. Now, those of you that have not given this video a thumbs up, please go and do so. I see that a lot of you have done that already. Thank you. It's very good that as soon as you join, the first thing you do is you give the video a thumbs up. So let's go to what we have tonight. I will start sharing my screen now so we can start reading. We will have GS 101 tonight. I may not be looking at the time tonight, so please, I will beg you guys to make sure you are calling my attention to time, because the way it is now, we have a lot of courses to do tonight, and we have a lot of reading, and there's a tendency that we will not be conscious of the time. So for the sake of those that will be going to work tomorrow, we need to make sure we do not inconvenience anyone. So as soon as my screen is visible, please let me know so that we can start what we are here to do. Thank you. I am sharing the screen now, but I don't know as soon as it's visible in your side there. According to Adedoyin, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, I learned about the importance of listening and comprehension. And you should have given us that importance, not to tell us that you learned about it. Because if I read this now, I still don't know what is the importance of listening and comprehension. But if you are able to tell us that, okay, this is the importance of listening and comprehension, then you have done justice to it. Olamide Onolaja, good evening, you're welcome. Okay, Akinrimisi, this is your first time. Don't worry, you are going to enjoy the class. Just make sure you remain in the class. So I believe my screen is visible now. Are you guys seeing my screen now? Is the screen visible now? So we have question one here. We have question one here. Let's see the gurus who will be able to answer it, or do we need to go and read this from the material? All right, thank you. Tell me Samuel, you are welcome. Yes, those are regular class members. And Christiana, thank you. Yes, we can. So question one, let's go straight to question one. Enough of the frivolities. Question one says, one of the following options is not required for a listener to comprehend a speech. One of the following options is not required for a listener to comprehend a speech. One, or option A, is it global exposure? Option B, is it familiarity with the vocabulary? Option C, is it general knowledge of the subject? And option D, is it attention? Of all the options mentioned, which of them will you not need if you understand the speech of someone that is giving a speech? If you are listening under someone now, which of these don't you need in order to understand what the person is saying? We have so many people saying A. Can you defend it? You are likely correct, but I don't want to say you are correct or not, but can you defend it? Why is it global exposure? Can you say the reason why familiarity with the vocabulary is not part of the, so it's part of the things you need in order to understand the speech? Can you tell us why general knowledge of the subject is important in order for you to understand the speech? And can you tell us why attention is important in order for you to understand a speech? And why is global exposure not that important? Well, we have somebody taking on another option. According to Opeyemi Elizabeth, the answer is D. Attention is not needed for you to understand a speech. Elizabeth, I will not give you kuli kuli, I will not give you pure sachet water. What we'll do is we'll give you a knock on the head. Everybody in the class today should give Elizabeth a knock on the head. So when she gets to exam and she sees this question, she will remember the knocks we gave her. Why won't you need attention to understand a speech? Let me give you an example. For instance, as we're in class now, you are watching Netflix and you're also watching this class. So, Yomin Cho is there crying because his lover left him. And you're also one side looking at the screen of your phone. One eye is looking at the television. By the time we ask a question, you will not understand what we ask because your attention is divided. So it is not possible for you to tell us that someone don't need attention in order to understand a speech. You definitely need attention. So of any other options you are likely going to pick, Attention should not even be there. That one is very important. If you remember under listening enabling skills, can you guys still remember FAA? I think is it FC triple A or FAAA? Do you guys remember the logic we used then when we were studying listening enabling skills? The skills you need in order to listen. Can you guys still remember? Can someone help us with that? That was something we used. There is an abbreviation we use. The first words, or sorry, the first letter of each of those skills. I know the first one is letter F. Is it FC triple A? That is FCAAA, or is it FAA? I don't even know. Can you guys recall it? Let's go back to our material under listening enabling skills. I want us to say it and read it again and try to put that in the mind, because it's very important. Those are the main sources of questions in your exam. So I want us to check listening enabling skills again. So nobody can tell us what we use to. That means you guys have not been attending classes. We used an abbreviation then for the listening enabling skills. I think I should share my screen so that you guys will see what I'm talking about. Let me share another screen now so that yes, FC triple A, I'm correct. FC triple A, that was all we used. According to Dora Amin, my class captain, she said to comprehend a speech, a listener needs attention for sure, familiarity with vocabulary, and general knowledge of the subject. Global exposure is not essential for basic understanding. This is very, 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 very interesting. Thank you, Dora. You have a recharge card already. And my class captain, I have two class captains. Grace says, paying attention to a speech helps you to anticipate what the speaker is saying or about to say next, because you have general knowledge about the speech or lecture. When the vocabulary is clear, you are speaking above our head, but you are making a very valid point there. According to Dora, attention is needed because if one is not focused, you will miss the key point. And then okay, those are just explanations. Now let's go back to listening enabling skills. Look at them here. Before, I just want to refresh your brain. And I especially the abbreviation we use, FC triple A. Functioning ears, concentration, ability to think along with the speaker, ability to anticipate what the speaker is about to say, ability to note important signposts that keep the listening going. So that is the FC triple A. According to Miriam, she said that global exposure is not required for a listener to comprehend the speech. Now that makes sense. In this particular question, I want us to read this part again. The question has led us to listening enabling skills. What are the skills you need in order to be able to listen very well? You need functioning ears. Like we said, if you don't have the ears, there is no way to even listen to start with. So your ears must be functioning. And then you must concentrate. Under concentration is where we have the point that says, there was one point in the question that says attention. It is when you concentrate on what you are being taught, that you'll be able to concentrate. When you pay attention, that is when you'll be able to concentrate on what the person is saying. Then ability to think along with the speaker. Grace already told us that when you concentrate, when your attention is in what the speaker is saying, your mind will be flowing with the speaker. So you will be anticipating, expecting, or sorry, you'll be thinking along with the speaker. As the speaker is giving the speech, you're already creating dramas, pictures, motions of what the person is saying in your mind. You are thinking along with, and then that will lead you to anticipating what the person is likely to say next. It's just like you and the person are now writing the movie together. That speech has now become like a movie. You already know the next scene that is likely going to be projected by the speaker. And then ability to note important signposts. That is very important, and it's very, very similar to the familiarity with the vocabulary and also the general knowledge of the subject. So let's remember this. I want everybody to write the abbreviation. Just write listening enabling skills. Then you write in capital letter F, C, then triple A. F, C, then triple A. According to Ifeanyi, he said general knowledge is important because a word may have different meanings depending on the context. Yes, that is valid. But you don't need to be exposed globally to understand the meaning of words. Thank you, that makes sense. All those that are just joining, you're welcome. Onolaja, you're welcome. Okay, Abigail Dacholom, you're welcome. Blessing wisdom. So this is what I say you guys should type now. You are going to write listening enabling skills. Then you write in capital letter the abbreviation that we use, FC triple A. So that is how to go about it. The FC triple A all must be in capital letter. So because it's an abbreviation, AY, you're welcome. So let's go back to the question and choose the correct answer. Global exposure is less needed or not needed when dealing with comprehending a speech. Now, before we move from here, I want us to learn one new word from this question. I know we've learned it before, and every one of us should know this. Every one of us should know this. By now, or before now, I want to say, before now, you should have known the meaning of this. In fact, you should have been using it in your conversation. What is the meaning of comprehend? If you don't know it, it's not a crime to check your dictionary as we are now in the class. Help me drop it in the chat box. What's the meaning of comprehend? You don't need to type long meaning. Just give me another word that is commonly used, a synonym for comprehend. Just give me a synonym for comprehend. What is the synonym for comprehend? So please, as you are typing listening enabling skills and you are writing FCAAA, note the meaning, because in exam, there is a way they ask question on that part. They may ask you that the third, that is the number 3 listening enabling skill, is dash. If you don't know them in an orderly manner, that is the first one, which is F. The F represents what? Functioning ears. If you don't know that the second one is concentration. If you don't know that the third one is ability to think along with the speaker. When they ask you that what is the third listening enabling skill, you will not be able to answer it. So you must know. That is why we have to use that abbreviation, so that with that abbreviation, you'll be able to register in your mind that F means functioning ear, C means concentration. The first A, which is a third skill you need, is ability to think along with the speaker. And then the second A and the third A, you should be able to register their meaning in your mind like that. So you guys, nobody have answered. Okay, thank you. So many people have answered, and the first person is Christiana. Christiana is having a recharge card with me already. She was the first person. I think we'll be rewarding first answers now, first correct answers, not just first answers. So Odubanjo Christiana says understand is another word or the synonym for comprehend. So from today, when you need to use understand, you can start chipping in comprehend. When you are speaking formally, you should learn to use the word comprehend. It means understand. So thank you, Christiana, and every other person that have said to understand. According to Rachel, it means to understand. Blessing Wisdom says comprehend means understand. Grace Sule says ability to understand. You are all correct. Thank you. So let's move to question 2. Let's move to question 2. In GS 101, you'll be taught, sorry, why am I saying thought? Sorry. You'll be taught the different forms of speech writing that we have, or essay writing, let me say, the different forms of essay writings that we have in form of exposition. Which other ones do we have? Narrative essays, expository essays, and so on and so forth. So there's so many things you will learn under those type of essays we have. Now, let's question 2 says, a tourist traveling from Nigeria to Colombia will need to acquire information in form of dash. Is it in form of narration, mythology, fables, or direction? What's the answer? Angela says that she's not hearing me. Is that a general problem, or she's the only one not hearing me? Oluwa Fumi, you are welcome. This is a regular student here. So many people are going for D, and that is correct. Of course, when you want to travel to another state, or to another country, you definitely need direction. When I land at the airport, when I go to the airport, where will I go first? You are seeking for direction. How do I navigate from here to here when I get to Colombia? You are dealing with direction. Adeola Sani said narration. Everybody in the class should give Adeola a knock. Give her a knock in the head. That is absolutely wrong. The correct answer is direction. And that is very obvious because we know that what the person needs is direction. Excuse me, no need to read much about that one. But I want you to learn the meaning of something. Maybe the reason why Adeola is saying narration is because Adeola don't know the meaning of a tourist. So let someone help us. The first person that can help us with the meaning of a tourist, or just the word tourist. What is the meaning of the word tourist? So when you help us, Adeola will see why we are saying that what the person needs is a direction. Who is a tourist? Who is a tourist? So thank you. Question 3 is about reading a passage, and you should expect this type of question. This type of question is very common in your GS 101. You will see it so much in the exam. So you should learn how to answer them. You just fill in the blank space using suitable words to complete the statement. So nobody is giving, you guys are not giving Adeola a knock. But thank God, my class captain has helped us with the meaning of tourist. Here come Thompson. Okay, Thompson is already answering the next question. Sorry, we are still trying to sort out something for Adeola. A tourist is a person, according to Dora, is a person who travels to a place for leisure, for relaxation, or sightseeing, rather than for work or permanent residence. Thank you. That is just a perfect definition according to Dora. Dora is having a recharge card with me already. She gave us the first correct answer. So Victoria Nelson also contributed, a person traveling for pleasure, usually on vacation. Thank you. Now let's go to question 3. Nelson has already given us the answer to question 3, but let's see if it's correct. The story goes thus: read the passage and fill in the appropriate word in the gap. This is the passage. Everyone truly needs to be careful in these days of increasing dash. And the question we are asked is to fill in number 1. Increasing what? What fits in that statement, or what can complete that statement from the options provided? Is it increasing cyber crimes? Is it increasing technology crimes or increasing global crimes or data crimes? Which one is the most suitable? Nelson already gave us cyber, which is A. I don't know if the rest of you agree with him. I want Adeola to talk. What would Adeola choose here? Fatima Hussein is already saying data crimes. How do you explain data crimes? Everyone in the class should give Fatima a knock in the head. Fatima deserves a knock in the head. Or is it on the head, we will say. So many people are going for option A, which is correct. Thank you. So we don't need to waste time on that. Now, for question 4, we need to go and read for a reason. The reason why we need to read for question 4 is because question 4 is directly from the material and we need to know everything we can on that topic. So we'll go to reading. Question 4 will switch us to reading mode. The question goes thus. Thank you, Blessing Wisdom. Thank you, Christiana. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Peter Gojim. Thank you, everyone. You're all doing well. So, question 4 says, for a poor reader to achieve a comprehensive rate of 80 to 90%, the study speed may be as low as dash. A poor reader to achieve the comprehension rate of 80 to 90%, the study speed may be as low as, is it 120 to 180 words per minute, or 60 to 100 words per second, or 60 to 125 words per minute, or 30 to 45 words per minute. Now let's go to the material to read. It's time to read. But while we are trying to read, I want you guys to look for the meaning of the word comprehensive. What's the meaning of the word comprehensive? What does it mean? You've already given us the meaning. Yes, when I asked you guys to look for the meaning of the word comprehend, but what is this version of comprehend, which is comprehensive? What kind of word is it? Let me ask like that. Is it a noun, a verb, an adverb, an adjective? What kind of word is comprehensive? Look for it. Look for the word comprehensive from your dictionary, or you ask your AI for explanation. Is it a noun, a pronoun, an adverb, an adjective, or and so on and so forth? So let's go to reading, my people. We want to read about a poor reader. Yes, we want to read about a poor reader. What does the material say about a poor reader? So I believe my screen is showing now. And the topic is saying practice in determining study type reading speed. Practice in determining study type reading speed. Well, somebody said 60 to 100 words per second. That means the person is very fast. If somebody is reading that per second, the person must be a very fast. That one is no more than fast reader. In 1 second, right? Even AI, I'm not sure you can read up to that in a second. Who said that, self? If okay, Oluwafumi was one that chose that option. Christiana says comprehensive means complete and thorough. Thank you. That is making sense. That is making sense. Chidera says comprehensive means including everything or nearly everything. Thorough and complete. You guys are making sense already. So let's read from the material the speed that a poor reader reading at the comprehension rate of 80 to 90% will likely read with. According to the material, in a slow study type reading, you should ensure that you read at least 200 to 300 words per minute in a slow study type reading. which means when you are preparing for exam, you should at least read for, sorry about that, you should read for 200, sorry, you should read up to 200 to 300 words per minute when you are studying for slow study type. You know, when the type of, there is a question they used to ask you guys in just one that what type of reading is used to study for exam, to prepare for exam. It is the study type, the slowest, the study type, the slowest. In case you see that question, it's likely we are going to miss that question tonight. So let's continue. You should also, I'm here now, you should also ensure that you have a high level comprehension while studying at this reading speed level. At least in a study type reading speed, your comprehension rate should be about 80 to 90% according to James and the rest. Your study speed or study type reading should be 80 to 90%. Now, for a poor reader, now that is for a normal reader, but for a poor reader to achieve a comprehension rate of 80 to 90%, that means to be able to understand to that level, to that percent, 80 to 90%, a poor reader will be reading 60 to 125 words per minute. A very good reader will read 200 to 300 words per minute at 80 to 90% comprehension. A poor reader will read 60 to 125 words per minute at the comprehension rate of 8. Now let's put them side by side. In the same comprehension rate, 80 to 90%, a good reader is going to read up to between 200 to 300 words per minute, while a poor reader at that same comprehension rate, 80 to 90%, will read 60 to 125 words per minute. So I think this has given us a very clear picture about the issue. There's something else I want you to learn from here. So, what is the difference between the word comprehend and comprehension? Ask your AI if you are trying to look for it. Thank you. Talked about before. According to Abigail, okay, comprehensive means complete and covering everything. Or you are all making sense. Now there is a new question posed to you guys. You have to drop your answer in the chat box. What's the difference between comprehend and comprehension? Let me type it down, type it there for you guys in the chat box. What is the difference between the word comprehend and comprehension? So you have it in the chat box. You can just answer it like that. Tell us the difference. So while you are doing that, let's go back to the mock site and of course answer the question. So in a nutshell, what do we go for as the answer? Having gone through that part in the material, what is the final answer to question 4? Yes, what is the final answer to question 4? Now, according to Dora says to comprehend means to understand something, while comprehension refers to the ability or the process of understanding. This is absolutely correct. Dora is having 2 cards already. Dora, you should be recording your cards, so don't let me forget. According to Angela, what we now have as a final answer is 60 to 125, and that is absolutely correct. That means you've been following. Thank you. Question 5. I think we can go to question 5 now. All right. So question 5 says, one of the following device is used by a writer to retain the attention of a reader. Is it option A, fact? Is it climax? Or is it suspense? Or is it plot? What does a writer use to retain the attention of the reader. Grace says that comprehend is to understand, while comprehension is reading to understand. Process. Let's just go with the definition of Dora. That makes sense. Christiana says comprehend means to understand something, while comprehension means to completely have an understanding of that thing. Well, you make sense. Thank you. You guys are making sense. So, what's the answer to question 5? According to Victoria Nelson, the answer is C, suspense. Thompson also go for option C. Peter Gojim is also going for option C, and so many other people have mentioned option C, like Dora, Onolaja, and Rachel. All right, let's go for option C, suspense. Question 6. Choose the alternative that best gives the meaning of the capitalized word in the sentence. The state has been restive for about 2 months now. Now, the first class work in this question is everyone should look for the meaning of restive and drop it in the chat box. Everyone, what is the meaning of restive? What is the meaning of restive? And drop it in the chat box. I don't know if it's option C or option B or option whatever. Let's look for the meaning of restive first. When you know the meaning of restive, you'll be able to answer it without issue. Somebody is still telling us the meaning of comprehension and comprehend, whereas AY, that is not what I ask you. Go and check the question very well. I don't ask you the meaning of compression. You've gone to an entirely different word. But let's leave that. We've answered that already. The question now is, what is the meaning of restive? Now, somebody say feeling impatient. Or that Jeremiah said it make the reader to crave what will happen next. Okay, no. Yes, you are still referring to Victoria Nelson is saying that restive means restless. I don't know if we should go with you. Don't give me whether the answer is C or B. What is the meaning of restive? That is what we are dealing with now. Dora is going for 8 tenths. You guys are not answering my question yet. What is the meaning of restive? Thank you. Grace is saying that the word restive means being restless, resistant to control, or impatient. So what is the opposite? Oh, sorry, the alternative rather. What is the alternative we can give to that from the options provided? Tense, retrogressive, peaceful, or progressive? Okay, so many people are saying impatient is the meaning of restive. Fine, you guys know the meaning of the word now. So it's not time to answer. And many people are already going for tense, that the correct answer is tense, the word that looks like it. So why don't you look for the meaning of tense for us, so that we just know that from this question we've learned 2 new words. The meaning of restive, which means somebody that is impatient, and the meaning of tense. Why is it that we can use tense instead of restive? Does tense also means somebody that is impatient? Okay, Thompson is saying hard to control. It's like Rachel is saying that tense means feeling anxious. Okay, Grace said that tense also means restless. So that means the 2 words, they are synonyms to each other. All right, so this is a fill in the gap. Question 7. The dash needs high concentration and particular attention to specific details. The dash needs high concentration and particular attention to specific details. What is that thing that needs high attention, or sorry, high concentration and particular attention to details? What is that thing? This is a fill in the gap. Yes, are you guys set? Are you ready? What should we write there? Yes, I'm waiting for you guys. What is the answer? Okay, we are having several options like intensive reading from Rachel. Grace said listener or student. Okay, this is what we are going to do. Excuse me. Let's go to the material and read everywhere we are able to see pay particular attention. Let's switch to the material from everywhere we're able to say, excuse me, to see pay particular attention. Okay, let's go there. I believe we are in the material now. This is one of the places particular attention was mentioned in the material under discussion on reading and interpreting tables. So let's read this place very carefully. Not for the sake of this question we want to answer, but for us to know what this place is telling us from the material. In reading and interpreting tables, you should pay particular attention not only to the language or words used in the passage, but also to the figures, percentages, and the items presented both on the table and in the body of passage. That is, just as your eyes are on the passage, so also must they be on the table presented. If you pay specific and close attention to the table and the passage, you realize that the following are the figures and words that can fill the gaps in question 1. Okay, sorry, they've given us a figure to study, blah, 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 but let's leave that. So let's see. Okay, they are still saying, they are still referring to, please, let's see this other one. In order to retrieve information from figures heard in lectures, tutorials, or seminars, you have to do the following. You must listen at the first thing. You must pay particular attention to the scores, figures, or data as presented in the speech. You should observe the figure carefully to trace such data, numbers, and scores. You must think fast in order to be able to relate what is said with what is presented in the figure. And this is the last one. Look at where our question was gotten from. Look at where our question was gotten from. Can you guys see it now? This reading speed needs high concentration. Do you see the way they set question in e-exam? How would you have known or imagined that this sentence here, hidden in one part of the material, page 136, they will turn it into a question? This reading speed needs high concentration and particular attention to specific details, which must be remembered possibly during examinations. So our answer is what? Reading speed. You guys are now there. It's not just reading, no. You have to write it in full. Reading speed. The answer is reading speed, not just reading. If you write reading there, you are already failing. reading speed. Yes, yes. We've learned something. Why don't you check for the meaning of concentration? You've been using the word so many times, but I know if they ask some of you now, what's the meaning of concentration? You don't be saying, you know, like when somebody is telling you something and then you now focus on the person, then you are not listening to person as you don't even know what the meaning of concentration is. So check now. This class want to give you the meaning of concentration. Check it from your dictionary. Ask your AI, what is the meaning of concentration? And help us to drop it in the chat box. Thank you. Outstanding Mary is just giving us the meaning of restive now when we are already in 21st century. But thank you anyway. Unable to stay still or to be controlled, especially because you are bored, impatient, or opposed to authority. Thank you. Concentration, according to Dora, is the ability to focus your mind on one thing or task for a period of time without getting distracted. That is very important. Dora is having 3 cards with me now. Thank you. It's only Dora that is winning card tonight. The rest of you don't like cards. Continue. Some people are already getting knocks tonight. Some are getting knocks, some are getting cards. That is how life is. Now, question 8. What says the time? We are almost done with English. Yes, we're almost done with English because we'll give 1 hour to each of the courses so that everybody can go and rest. Question 8 says, read the following passage. Amina is an interesting Nigerian woman. She made up her mind while growing up not to be dashed by the challenges of her dash environment. Now, the part we are being asked is option 3. She was determined to be dashed in her career despite being a woman. Years later, okay, sorry, I think that is where we are concerned about. Question 3. She was determined to be dashed in her career despite being a woman. Is it attractive, outstanding, outlandish, or opaque? What's the correct answer? Sadiq Miriam is saying outstanding, and I think she's the first person that answered that before Dora. So Sadiq, after this, Miriam, I think that is a lady. After this class, you message me, you have your first card already. Dora is already having 3 cards. I'm going to see the person with the highest cards tonight. Dora is having 3 cards already. Miriam is having 1 now. And I think there was one person I mentioned earlier too that won a card. Okay. AY says concentration means ability to focus. Now, most of you are choosing outstanding. B, that is correct. Question 9. Mention one activity that aids interpretation from text. It is dash from text. Wow, I am not sure this question is correct. There's something wrong with this question. And I think that should be a typo error. Let's see if we are going to see something related to interpretation. Probably let's read about interpretation from the material. If we are going to see, there's a topic in the material that says reading for critical interpretation and critical evaluation. So what is important when you are interpreting? When you are interpreting, what is important? Okay. All right. While we may not see the direct answer to that question, let us go and read interpretation from the material. That will help us to learn other things that are from that unit. So let's go. I think that will be the last reading in JS 101 tonight. because the question 10 is just a comprehension passage. So let's go to question 9 and read from the material. I will need to share material now, and we're going to read a unit that talks about reading for interpretation. Reading for interpretation. Now, let's give a short classwork. What is the meaning of interpretation? Look for it in your dictionary. What is the meaning of interpretation? I know some of you are very conversant with it. They interpret in your church or in anywhere you find yourself. But what's the meaning? According to Abigail, she's saying we should go for listening. Even Mary is saying that. Even Elizabeth is saying that. Yes, it's Infayin. Yes, you are the first person that won my card then. I won't forget. Just message me after the class. Victoria Nursing is suggesting clear vocabulary. Well, we are going to note all these your answers, but we'll also see the person that is correct when we submit the test. Dora is saying interpretation means explaining or understanding the meaning of something. Explaining is correct, but that your understanding, I don't know if it fits into that. Interpretation means the explanation or understanding of the meaning of something. Okay, I think Dora is correct then. Okay, Dora is the first person that gives us well the correct meaning. So we give it to Dora. Dora is getting her fourth card already. Wow, that is sweet. Dora is getting her fourth card already. The rest of you should be like Dora tonight too, so that you win card plenty. Now, let's read this unit and pay attention, please. We are reading this unit because a question came out on interpretation. So we need to come to the part of the material that talk about reading for interpretation. Let's go. Reading for interpretation is in stages. The first stage is reading and understanding the passage very well. Without basic understanding of the passage, you cannot interpret the writer's stated and unstated views. The second stage, the first stage is thorough understanding. The second stage is that of reading between the lines and above the lines to determine what the writer has stated and infer from what he has stated and that which he has not implicitly stated. Check for the meaning of the word implicit from your dictionary. The meaning of the word implicit from your dictionary. So, interpretative tasks involve you providing answers to the following questions. What does the passage not given? Why is what the writer stated or not stated that way? Why is the situation stated in the passage developed or operated? How is it determined? What trends are noticed in the writer's statement or presentation of views, or point of views rather? So that is reading for interpretation. When you want to interpret a passage, this is how you read to interpret it. It involves like two stages that were mentioned here. The first stage is for you to understand properly what the person is saying through that passage. And the second one is for you to read between lines and above lines. And then ask yourself some thought-provoking questions. So I've asked us the meaning of the word implicit. Why is Dora boycotting you guys like this? Well, the first answer I have here is from Dora again. Implicit means something that is that is not directly stated but is understood or suggested. I will not go with your meaning. Let me see another person. According to AY, implicit means something that is suggested or understood without being directly stated. That makes sense. Thompson says implicit means something is understood without being directly stated. You just said it, you said the same thing with AI, sorry, AY rather. Chidera, the meaning that's there but not said directly, hiding it. Okay, I'm giving it to AY. AY is getting his first card now. Dora, you have a point, but your point is I don't I'm not accepting it fully because of the second part of that your definition. So AY, you got your first card. Let's move on. Let's leave that and answer that question. So from what we've gotten from the text, do we have anything that points us to the answer to this question? Can anything give us a clue? What do you think? Do we have something that is going to give us a clue? What do you think we should choose? What's the correct answer? What will you choose if you are the one? Oh, sorry, what will you write rather? What will you write as your answer? Madam Naomi is not in class tonight and I don't know why. I don't know why she's not in class. Probably she's having a wonderful night. Yes, I want you guys to bring suggestion. What should we write there? What's the answer? You guys are already tired on one course alone. When we still have two more courses to go. We still have two more to go. You are tired already. Correct answer. The question is okay. Sorry, I don't know. I'm still on the material. You will see the question very soon. Sorry. Uh, although the question is looking very funny. It's looking very funny and almost not correct. But I believe you guys can see the question now. Mention one activity that aids interpretation from text. It is dash from text. I think we will need to read another part of this course material. Let us read another part of the course material shortly. That will be the last reading for GS 101 tonight. Okay, I think I'm back there. Listening for interpretation and critical analysis. I want us to read this. Please be very attentive. There are so many questions they do ask from this particular place we want to read. So it's very important. It's very important. I will say again. One of the high order skills you need to perform creditably well while listening to a talk, a speech, or a lecture is the skill or ability of interpreting the speaker's viewpoint. This is a very strong question in exam, almost repeated every year. Be very attentive. One of the high order skills you need to perform creditably well while listening to a talk, a speech, or a lecture is the skill or ability of interpreting the speaker's viewpoint. Now, that's not where we are going. Interpretation is not as simple as finding or locating general or specific information while listening. Interpretation involves deriving meaning out of what is said. Deriving meaning out of what is said. This can be at two major levels. giving the speech the surface and the deeper meaning. Interpretation involves inferencing, thinking between and beyond what has been said. Please pay attention. This is in fact, let me give you an expo. On your own, go back to this paragraph. Look for it on page 93. Read it, read it, read it until the whole thing sinks in your head, until you can say everything that is here without reading the material. That is how well you should read this place. Now, interpretation involves inferencing, thinking between and beyond what has been said. And you should be very careful when answering questions on this interpretation. They may give you the definition and ask you to fill in the gap. The answer will be interpret. For instance, if in the exam you see dash involves inferencing, thinking between and beyond what has been said, you should know that your answer is interpretation. Now, giving utterance, meaning and making deductions or observations out of the meaning, as well as establishing trends or recurring patterns out of the observations, are also some of the process involved in interpretation. Now, the answer to our question is making deductions. So, we know we have several activities that aid interpretation from text, but one of them, and the one this question is particularly asking you, is making deductions, which was mentioned here. Making deductions. Let's look for the meaning of the word deductions. Probably it will help you to retain the answer to this question in exam when you see it. Making deductions. So what's the meaning of deductions? Yes, let's see who is going to win the card this time around. What's the meaning of deduction? While you are looking for the meaning, I will share my screen back to the mock site, and we are going to write the answer. Okay, I'm on caps lock. Sorry. What is this? Making. Okay, yes, deductions. I don't know if they include the S in theirs, but I think let's just go for deduction. Making deduction. It is making deduction from text. Rich Movies says, Olamide Onolaja, you got it wrong because you didn't even get the word correct. It is not reduction, deduction. So the first person that is giving us, even Christiana is saying deduction means reduction. I don't believe that. Christiana, I'm not following you. So we'll go with Rich Movie, who is the first person that is giving us a reasonable meaning here. Deductions means conclusion you arrive at based on available information or evidence rather than what is directly stated. Conclusions you arrive at. That makes sense. So, Rich Movie, you got your first card tonight. That is awesome. The card is now circulating. Everybody is winning now. Now, the last question for GS 101 before we move to the next course. The last question says, read the passage. Good day, everyone. Today, I am going to show you how to paint a room in your home. First, you need to choose a paint color. You also need to choose a finish, which will affect how glossy and durable the paint will be once it is dry. Make sure you also get the right paintbrush, so that the process is made easy. When you are ready, start by making a straight line on the wall with your brush. Please note that you are to dip the brush halfway into the paint and tap off any excess before applying each time on the wall. The information provided in the passage is in form of dash. What kind of essay is this? Okay, not even what kind of essay is it. The way this person was given this, maybe his or a reader, the steps, the logic to painting. How is the person giving it? Is it in form of instruction, fables, myth, or description? What's the correct answer? This one we will not read. Is something you need to know. Thompson is saying option A. Olamide Onala, that we've seen so many A. AY is the first person to say A, instruction. So I think AY has gotten a card. If this is his first one, then you've gotten your first card. If it's your second, you've gotten your second card. I think this is the first card AY is getting. So the final answer is instruction. Now let us see how we are standing. It's time to go to the last question and submit and see what we got. Let's submit and see what we got. So after reading and answering question, we got 9/10. We answered 10 questions and we got 9. So which one did we fail? Which one did we fail? We need to know that question we failed. It's very important so that we make our correction. We answered, okay, AY, that's your second card. Just make sure you put it in mind and message me after the class. You will get your card. The question we failed is question 7. Do you see now? The fact that you know the answer, your answer was very close, does not mean you will get it. You have to write it in the exact form. The correct answer is study reading speed, but we threw away the study. We use it to drink garri and kuli. So we decided to write only reading speed there. And then the examiner says, no, sorry. Well, that is just a minor omission. So you guys have seen the questions we answered tonight. You've seen their answers. Get familiar with them. And you've seen the places we've read. In summary to this class, I want you to drop 3 new words you've learned from this class tonight before we switch into the next material or the next course. Please, in the chat box, drop 3 new words you learned from this class tonight. 3 new words you've added to your vocabulary. While we are doing that, they said that at the beginning of this class, I asked us what course or courses do we have tonight, and I have people saying GST 101, GST 105, and GST. So it's actually GSTs we have throughout tonight. That's awesome. So let's go to this tough GST 105. I like to always tell you guys that it is tough. Please, it's not like I'm trying to scare you guys off. If that is all we want to do, we'll not even be wasting our time, making sure you guys are reading and practicing like this. This course, GST 105, don't joke with it. It's a mocker in exam. The course is a mocker in exam. It can mock someone. I've seen people that before they refer them to me for us to give them the logic of passing in no, they've written this exam like 4 times. This same GST 105, they've written it like 4 times. Some of them said they are already done with their 400 level excuse me, second semester. They are done. Only GST 105 is holding them. So they have to register a new semester after 400 level, second semester, just to do this GST 105. So when you see an opportunity like this to study this GST 105, please and please don't joke with it. The course is not for the weak. It's even easier for those in the science department. Those of you in arts or social science department, it's only God that will help you. Now, enough of talking. Let's get to work. So what did you learn? Let me see those that learned something. Dora learned the meaning of implicit, comprehension, comprehend, and concentration. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Dora has been following us back to back. It's time to do GST 105. It's time to do GST 105. So let's get to work. It's only Dora that learned something. Dora, you have an extra card. It's only Dora that learned something tonight. So Dora, there's an extra card for you already. Okay. Onola learned restive, implicit, comprehensive. Absolutely correct. You are making sense. Timothy Daniel learned deduction, implicit, tense. Thank you, Daniel. Outstanding Mary learned the meaning of comprehend, restive, and deduction. You're absolutely correct. Well done. And Shalom, that's Abigail, learned that deduction means drawing a conclusion or finding the answer based on reasoning. Thank you. Fact or evidence. I will give you one card for that. Abigail, you're giving us a deeper meaning of deduction. So Abigail is having her first card. Don't worry, we are still having more courses. You can still win more cards before the end of the marathon section. Okay, Christiana, you learned comprehend. Thompson, I was the first to answer. All right, sorry about that. I didn't see it. So let's go to the next course. Let's get prepared. Enough of GST 101. We are diving into another course. What type of resources are plants? Question 1 in GST 105. What type of resources are plants? Are they non-living things? Are plants living things? Are they artificial or are they industrial? Plants, what kind of resources are they? Option B, who is that person? Angela Chidera says plants are living things. Well, Angela is the first person to answer and her answer is correct. So Angela, I give you have your first card already. The answer is living. Question 2. During which war was chemical warfare first used on a large scale? Chemical warfare first used on a large scale. In which world war? Is it World War I, World War II, 3, 4? Let us know. Just give it to us. Who is answering? Who is the first person? Chemical warfare. Just say chemical. Which world war was chemical first adopted? I think that one is not something we should go and read much because please, when you're answering a question, put the question number there. Question 2, maybe the answer is A. You say you write 2, then A. You guys are already confusing me. I'm saying B, I'm saying D, I'm saying. So which one is it? Victoria is saying C. Which question are you answering? Is it plant or you are now answering question 2? Let's start afresh now. Put the number before the option. Put the number of the question before your own answer, before the option you are choosing. Thank you. Rachel is the first person to answer, and she said the answer is C, the First World War, and she's correct. So she got her first card tonight. Well done, Rachel. Question 3. In scientific method, hypothesis is tested during dash. Let's go and read about hypothesis in the course material. It's time to read this very notorious course. God will help all of you in this course. I think this course requires prayer. Aside reading, you need to pray that God will help you to pass it. What's the question again? In scientific method, hypothesis is tested during. Okay, I think there is a part of the material that talk about the scientific method. So let's read about that. Let us read about the scientific method. There is a part of the material that actually talks about that. Excuse me. Section 3.1. All right, please, I'm trying to get where it is in the material before I share it. But while we are trying to do that, I want you guys to look for the meaning of the word hypothesis. Let's check your dictionary. What's the meaning of hypothesis? What's the meaning of hypothesis? Excuse me. So I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you guys. The meaning of hypothesis. Yes, who's answering? AY says hypothesis means an idea or explanation that is suggested based on limited evidence, which can be tested to see if it is true or false. AY, you have your fourth. No, that is your third one. You have your third card. That is absolutely correct. The rest of you can read it from AI. Sorry, AY. Why am I calling you AI now? Read it from AY. He has given you a perfect meaning to that. Okay, I'm still trying to get us to where this thing is in the material. Where it is in the material. We have a long reading to do. Based on what I'm saying here, we have a long reading to do. A long one, a long one. Are you guys sure we open just 105? All right, I'm sure it is. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. Please pardon me. I'm trying to source it directly from the material so that we can just go to reading straight when I'm done. Okay, I think we should, let me just stop that and carry you guys along. Mm, the thing is, we have so many scientific methods, up to 60 of them mentioned in the material, so I have not even gotten to the scientific method we are looking for. Okay, All right, let's just break the or let's cut the break now. All right, where in scientific method, hypothesis is tested during let me share the material so we'll read about scientific method. What do you think is the answer if you were to choose, or sorry, if you were to write something there? In what stage of the scientific method do you think, excuse me, why did they mention the science? Where is the topic? That is the main issue we're having now. That is what we want to check. Where was it mentioned? In Module 1, Unit 2, fine. So let's quickly go to Module 1, Unit 2 and see. Sorry, I will need to take it down like this so that we'll see it faster. I've been wasting too much time on it. Okay, Module 1, Unit 2. It's like we've passed that Unit 2 already. Okay. Unit 1 is the nature of science. Sorry, you can see that the course is already showing that it's a very strong head course. But God passed the course. So, okay, now I think we're now in that so-called Unit 2. Yes, the scientific method. Fine. You have a long reading to do tonight. Let's open up our minds. I believe the thing will show very soon. Don't worry. You will see it bigger now. I'll zoom it in so that we can start reading. The scientific method. This is what we want to learn. Acquiring knowledge through the scientific method. Mm, so let's see. Okay. Superficially, we are now starting to read about the scientific method of acquiring knowledge. Okay, somebody said stage, somebody said investigation. Let's see, we don't know who is correct yet, but let's see. Superficially, science is a collection of facts. So when you see that in the exam, that what dash is a collection of facts, we can say science, that is based on superficial definition, which is a body of knowledge that describes and explains the workings of nature. Although these facts are interesting, even fascinating, they are not the essence of science. Rather, the excitement of science lies in the intriguing observation. Check for the word intrigue. What is the meaning of the word intrigue? Check for the meaning. The one you instead of ing, you end it with letter E. So, what is the meaning of the word intrigue? Check it in your dictionary. Help us to check it and drop it in the chat box. Now, intriguing observation and carefully designed experiment that scientists have devised to help us learn about nature. The important thing here is the process of science, not just knowing the facts, but appreciating how scientists discovered and continue to discover those facts. The process is characterized by a sequence of steps which enable scientists to approach objective truth as closely as possible. Now, taken singly, most of the steps are commonplace procedures carried out by people on a daily basis. Taken together, they amount to one of the powerful tools man has devised to know and to control nature. The nature of science, okay, that is a reference. Now, the steps of science include the following. But before then, let me see what my people are saying about intrigue. The first person that gave us the meaning of intrigue is Christiana, and it means to be fascinated or to be curious. Christiana, you have a card on that. Thank you. AY says it means a strong feeling of curiosity or interest about something mysterious or unusual. You are correct. Thank you, AY. That makes sense. Dora says intrigue means to arouse curiosity, interest, especially in a way that makes someone to want to know more. Thank you. That makes sense. Now, observation is the first step in scientific method that we want to learn. And under observation, we said that knowledge comes from noticing resemblances and recurrences in the events that happen around us, according to Wilfred Trotter. In case you are asked in the exam that who made that claim, that knowledge comes from noticing resemblances and recurrences in the events that happen around us. Observation is the first step of the scientific method. Thus, anything that cannot be observed cannot be investigated by science. For for example, a young student observes that maize grains, which were placed in a wet container inside a dark cupboard, germinated, but that the leaves were pale yellow instead of the normal green color of leaves, according to Olorede. Now, scientific observation can be both direct and indirect. Direct observations are made with the aid of the senses, just as our hypothetical student observed the maize grains with his eyes. Indirect observations are performed with the aid of instruments, atomic, nuclear, and magnetism, for example, cannot be perceived directly through our sense organs, but their effect can be observed with instruments. What other things do you think can be observed indirectly? Let's leave that. Now, we are looking for something. And what we are looking for is the answer to the question that in scientific method, hypothesis is tested during. I don't know if we should go to the part that talks about hypothesis. I don't know. So that we don't just. Now, the first stage is observation. Is that also? And we've read a bit about observation, what it means. We even know that we have two types, direct and indirect. Can you type the two types of observations we have in the chat box under scientific method? Step one is observation. Can you list the two types of observations we have in the chat box? That is a classwork for everyone that are still online. What are the two types of observations we have under scientific method? As you are typing that, let me move to the step two. The step two is problem definition. In this step, questions are asked about the observation. If our hypothetical student in one above shows further curiosity, he will decide to find out why those seedlings had pale yellow leaves instead of green. This is the definition of the problem. He asks himself, why are the leaves pale yellow instead of green? This is the kind of casual questions that the scientist, or sorry, the scientific method deals with. Science is fundamentally about finding answers to questions. Okay, significantly, not everyone sees that there may actually be a connected, that their expression is wrong, that may be connected with observation. For thousands of years, even curious people simply took it for granted that any unsupported object that is thrown up in the air must fall to the ground. It took a genius, Isaac Newton, to ask, how come? The nature of science and few questions have ever contributed more to science as this. Good questioning, like good observing, is a high art. To be able to value, sorry, to be of value to science, a question must be relevant and it must be tested. Experience helps in deciding if a question is relevant or not. Okay, we'll talk about now hypothesis formulation. This is the third step of the scientific method. The step one is observation. The step two is what? What we just finished saying, problem definition. Step three is now hypothesis formulation. But before that, let's see what you guys have written. Let's see what you guys have written. Okay, who was the first person to answer my question correctly? Pretty Gift says experiment stage, no. Angela Chidera was the first person to give us the two types of observations that we have, the direct and the indirect. So Chidera, you have a card for that. If you have gotten one before, add it to the ones you have. If not, that is the first card. Now, the third stage. While we are reading the third stage in scientific method, I want to, is another classwork now, mention the first two steps in scientific method. The first two steps we discussed earlier, mention them in the chat box. Now, hypothesis formulation. This is the third step of the scientific method. Do you know that this involves the seemingly quite unscientific procedure of guessing? One guesses what the answer to the question might be. Scientists call this assumed answer hypothesis. Now, a given question, as you might be aware, may have thousands of possible answers, but only one right answer. Thus, there are excellent chances that a random guess will be wrong. The scientist will only know if his guess was correct after he must have completed the fourth step of the scientific method. While the third step is forming the hypothesis, it is the fourth step that will help us to test if the hypothesis is correct or not. If the hypothesis is correct or not. In other words, during experimentation, which is the fourth step, it is in this fourth step that hypothesis will be tested. It will be experimented to know if it is correct or not. So, I think the answer to our question is, in scientific method, hypothesis is tested during experimentation. Experimentation. Now, I think that's what we'll choose as the answer. This question alone has taken our mind to several pages in the course material. Now, the first step is observation and problems definition according to Victoria Nelson. The first person that gave that answer correctly is Peter Gojim. So before I give the card now, I will ask the question again. Kindly list the 4 steps involved, the first four steps involved in scientific method. Well, it is very good you know how many steps we have. How many steps do we have in the scientific method? It is very important we know the steps so that when they ask you how many in the exam, you will, even though they don't ask you to list them, you should be able to know that we have whether 6 or 7 or 9 or 10. According to the bacteria here, I think about 6 of them were listed. Okay, I only ask you to mention the first 4 because that is, or those are the ones that concern us. We've read about them. Observation and problem definition, Oda Jeremiah, observation, problem solving. No, it's not problem formulation. No, we've mentioned four. We've read about four already. Nobody is winning my card this time around. Let's start from beginning. The first one is observation. The second one is problem definition. Okay, Christiana just dropped them. Hypothesis formulation. You did not get it correctly, Christiana. Not just hypothesis, but the formulation of that hypothesis. That is the third one. And the last one is experimentation, which is the fourth step. Thank you. Question 4. I think this is likely going to be the last course we'll be doing tonight because this course is stretching us already. And I want those that are working to sleep, please. So this will be the last course we do. We'll resume our daily listing tomorrow so we can do the remaining GST and another course tomorrow. What is the goal of technology? What is the goal of technology? Is it theory? Is it in application? Is it in philosophy or in religion? That is question number 4. That is question number 4. The goal of technology. The goal of technology. Okay, I'm not sure Grace is still in this class. According to Angela was the first person that said theory is the goal of technology. Rachel is saying option B, which is application. Victoria is also supporting Rachel. I think Rachel should be correct. We don't know maybe where we submit, but I think the answer should be that application. Technology is applied in several ways in this our modern world. Question 5. Which of these scientists is from Umuode in Nkanu East? Is it Nkanu Street? East local government area of Enugu State. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Umuode or Umuode or what do you say it? How do you call it in Igbo or in Enugu tongue? So, which of them is it? Prof. Bat Inaji, Philip Emegwele, Prof. Mobisin, Oliver Udemadu, or colon Dr. Ovimo Ovade. Which of them? So let's read about this Umode. Let's read about the man. Let me give you guys some expo. Go and read about Bat Inaji very well. That is Bartholomew Inaji. Go and read everything written about his life in this course material. They like asking questions. You see, he's even the one. He's the one. Let me share the course material. Let's read about the man. Let's pick some important things he has done, achievements he has made, so that will help us. Well, it's very important now to say that Prof. Bartholomew Inaji, often shortened to Bat Inaji, is from Umuode in Nkanu East local government area of Enugu State, Nigeria. He was born in July 1956 and he studied at St. John's University in New York. All right, so let's stop there for now. He is from Umuode, so is this Bartholomew Inaji that was from that particular mentioned area. So the answer is A. Who is the first person to get it? Peter Gojim. Question 5. Nobody has gotten it yet because nobody has. I asked you guys to always attach the number to the question. So that is a bonus. Nobody got it. When you're answering now, once you get to question 2, start adding the number to the answer. Question 6. What is the focus of biological science? Is it rocks, living organisms, machines, space? This question is the type of question Madam Naomi would have said the answer is obviously there. So what is the answer to this one? Question 6. The first person to answer is Rachel, and she answered it correctly. Living organism. So Rachel, you have a card. Send a DM after the class to get your card. How long does it take for low altitude satellite to orbit the Earth? How long does it take for a low altitude satellite to orbit the Earth? So, what are we going to say? Is it less than 30 minutes, less than 60 minutes, less than 120 minutes, less than 90 minutes? You see why we're saying this course is very tough. You see different things that they just put into the course. Different things from different aspects of science. So it requires you to read very well. I don't want any one of you to repeat this course. Let's read a bit now from the material. This question is taking us into reading. And this is what we are going to be reading. So open your mind, please. Open your mind, please. Now, let's start from the Russians. The Russians were the pioneers, and many nations then joined the mad race for supremacy of outer space. To illustrate this, in 1974 alone, there were 500 Earth satellites orbiting the Earth at the same time. They were clearly used for scientific investigation, but it was obvious to the whole world that the technology can also be used for reconnaissance. Let's check for the meaning of the word reconnaissance in our dictionary and help me to drop it in the chat box. Learn the meaning of the word reconnaissance today. Reconnaissance. Let me help you guys to drop it in the chat box so that you will all be able to check. Grace is no longer in this class from what I am seeing. Okay, Grace has even answered. Oh, she's here already. Said that the answer is D, less than 90 minutes. She's absolutely correct, but what's the meaning of the word reconnaissance? I want us to check. What does the word reconnaissance means? I've dropped it in the chat box for you guys. According to Rich Movies, she said that the word reconnaissance means something that strongly connects with your feelings or thoughts, or produces a strong echo or vibration. You made a valid point. So please, Rich Movie, you have a card. If you have gotten one before, this is your second one. Let's continue reading. Excuse me. So, reconnaissance and rapid delivery of nuclear weapons, since it takes less than 90 minutes for a low altitude satellite to orbit the Earth. So that gives us the answer to that question, live from the material. Please, while I am going to choose the correct option, check for the meaning of the word altitude. What does the word altitude means? Let's not just be thinking everybody knows it. What's the meaning of altitude? While you are looking for the meaning, I will share the mock site and will choose the correct answer, which is option D. Who was the first person that chose D before we even opened the material? That is Rachel. Rachel, you are the owner of the card to this question. That is Rachel Nnamdi. Oh, sorry, Namani. Namani. Okay, you are the owner of the card, so you message me. Now, question 8 is a fill in the gap question. Okay, what's the meaning of that word? Please, I've asked you guys to look for the meaning of something for me. Gathering information or exploring a place or situation to get useful details before taking action. Reconnaissance. Okay, thank you, Dora. Ooh. Rich Movie says altitude means it is how high something is in the sky or above the earth. Wow, thank you. This is a very layman explanation. You have your second card or is your third one, I can't say, but this is another card for you for Rich Movie. Well, Angela Chidera said altitude is a vertical distance of height or height of object, point or location measured from a reference level, most commonly mean sea level. Your is even more detailed. Thank you. Question 8. The fact that scientists or the fact that scientific claims can be verified by others adopting the same method is proof of what in science? Hmm. That is proof of what in science? You know, when science says that this is this, if somebody else should try that same procedure, they will still arrive at the same answer. So, what is that called in science? We already know that a theory. What's the answer? Okay, it's like Grace is claiming something. I really don't understand what she's claiming, but I know she's claiming something. What is the answer to this question? Who is trying? Investigation. All I would have gone with you, but I think that is just trying to tell us that this thing can be reproduced. Uh, it's only trying to say that this thing can be reproduced, can be replicated, it can, that is what we are trying to say. Okay, I really don't know what we should choose. What are you guys going for? Objectivity. Thank you, Chidera. Chidera is going for objectivity. I really don't know if that's the answer, but I'll go with her. So let's see where she's going to lead us to. Let us see where Chidera will lead us to. Chidera is the uh what do we call her now? To this answer. She's the owner, the heir. She's the owner of this answer. So we are going with Chidera. I just love that word. That word fitting actually. But we don't know what the question is actually going to expect us to type there. But we'll see it soon. Question 9, and we're almost done with GST 105. Which sector is affected by computer technology? Is it only education that computer technology is helping? Is it only military? Is it all sectors? Or is none of this? What's the correct answer to question 9? Someone is giving me option C already, and that is Rachel. Rachel is going for C. She's typing it correctly. She first gave us the question number and then her own choice answer. And I think we can go with that. That is correct. So, Rachel, you have another card if you have gotten one before. If not, that is your first card. Now, which method helps conserve natural resources? Before we answer this question, let's answer this first. What is the meaning of conserve? What does it mean to conserve? Conserve. Which method helps to conserve natural resources? Is it waste? Is it recycling? Is it pollution? Is it burning? But before we answer question 10, let's look for the meaning of the word conserve. According to Dora, conserve means to protect something and use it carefully so it does not get wasted or destroyed. So Dora has gotten another card for that. That makes absolute sense. Whereas Peter Godjim says you conserve something by recycling it. Option B. I think we can go with Peter Godjim. Peter, let's go with you and submit. So if after submitting your answer is correct, we will give you the card. If you lead us into the bush with your answer, we are not giving you any card. We will give you a knock. So let us see the analysis of our submission. Absolutely, we got 9/10. Wow, that's amazing. That means we failed only one question. We failed only one question, and that is question 5. Oh my goodness. If we failed question 5, it means something is wrong with the programming of the question because we got it correctly. Even the ones we are thinking we will fail, we did not fail them. So it means no. There is something wrong with the programming of this question, and I think I will correct it. There is an error there. The answer is absolutely batch energy, so ignore this rubbish that is showing here. So every other thing we chose is correct. So that means Peter Godjim, you are correct, so you have your card. Then that option of filling the gap where we wrote objectivity. In fact, I'm giving, who gave us that word? And Chidera, I'm giving you double card for that answer. So you are not getting just one card, you are getting double. So if it's only one, if that is your first card, that means you got 2 cards. If that is your second, that means you've gotten 3 cards already. So just note it. That is an impressive answer from you. Objectivity. So please let's put that in mind, that when they say that science claims can be verified by others when they use the same method, it means science is objective. That is the meaning. And all other fill in the gap that we've answered and the answers are correct, you guys have done well. This one too, experimentation, we got it perfectly. Clap for yourself, everyone. This is an awesome performance. We actually got 10/10. That one saying mode be this is an error. I will correct it from the back end. Something must have gone wrong there. That question 5, we got it correctly. The answer is truly bat energy. The answer is truly bat. It's very obvious even from the material. So let's in summary tonight, can you just drop 2 things you learned from both classes? One thing you learned from GST 101, one thing you learned from GST 105. That is the last section, and then we'll close. Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday already. So let me leave people to rest and relax for those that are going to work. But before then, drop something in the chat box. What did you learn? What did you learn today? That is the last assignment for everyone. What did you learn today? That one can continue coming in while I end the class. You just tell me what to learn today. Thank you all for attending tonight. See you guys tomorrow for GST 101 what's that? 103 and one of the mark. We are going to treat one of the mark tomorrow. Do have a wonderful night rest and sleep tight. And please don't forget, drop 2 things you've learned tonight before you leave. Thank you.